Bob Moore, talking about the BRRRR process again. In this video, we're going to talk about bidding wars briefly. Main reason for that is because in the last video I explained to you that you may have to pay too much for the house. Now, in a buyer's market, which is where there are more people selling than there are people buying, then the sellers have to maybe reduce their price or make it more attractive some way or another. In a seller's market, however, there's not enough product out there and there's a ton of buyers, and that's what's happening now. COVID-19, for those of you who went through it, really reduced the inventory because a lot of sellers were too scared to sell their homes. They didn't want people wandering around thinking they'd get the virus. And it took a long time to recover from that. And when it did, there were still a lot of buyers out there because people wanted to move into outlying areas to get bigger homes. So we weren't just competing with investors, we were competing with people who have an emotional attachment to a bigger house. I'm talking about people who lived in condos in Toronto and were coming to Hamilton to buy homes to live in because they could work from home now. That kind of thing. So we started competing with sometimes 20, 30, I've even seen 40 people bidding on one house. Instead of walking away from those, what you have to understand is how the bidding system works. For example, if a house is selling for $600,000 and there's 40 people bidding, 10 of those people are going to be at list price or lower. Probably because they're not using a very intelligent realtor, or they just insist that they're not going to pay list price. Another set of 10 will probably go 30, 40,000 over, because our theory in the past used to be $5,000 per offer. So if there's 20 offers, then we'll go 100,000 over kind of attitude. The problem with that is a lot of the homes now are selling for 150, 200,000 over, regardless of how many people are there. The key to remember is sometimes the real estate agent who's selling the house will list it at a low price. So even though you think you're going way over list, you're not. The house was priced low to start with, just to attract a lot of people, which of course it does. What we need to tell you is, what is this house actually worth? If it's listed at 600, is it worth 700 really? Is that what all the houses in the neighborhood are selling for, and this one's just underpriced? Or are these houses in this neighborhood selling for 650, 660? If that's the case, then what I want to do is tell you that, look, we're probably going to have to pay $660 for this house, so be prepared. And on the day of the bidding war, we've already done our paperwork, and I'm going to call you at the very last second and say, look, there are 10 people bidding on this house. I think we need to go to the full price of $660, which is your cap. The house might sell for more than that. It might sell for $700, but I'm telling you that it's probably not worth that. We should walk away. In other instances, we can go up to that $700 because the rest of the neighborhood is selling for that price and you haven't got a bad deal, even though you went 100,000 over. So that's part of the bidding war process, and it's something that's hard to explain in a video. You really need to have that one-on-one discussion with your realtor.